Hello, fellow beer enthusiasts and fellow beer lovers. With St. Patrick's Day right around the corner, I thought I'd show you a little something different. It's like the center of the piece of my home. It's the most talked about thing whenever I have company over. What I'd like to talk to you, I'm going to show you guys how I made my kegerator, or they are sometimes called keezers, because technically it is a kegerator, but it is made out of a chest freezer. So what I did was I just basically started off with just buying a regular old 5.1 cubic foot chest freezer. That's all that is underneath all that jazzed up stuff and designs. It's just a regular run-of-the-mill 5.1 cubic chest freezer. It's an Igloo brand. And then I just bought the like the bar with the Guinness bar towel to design it up a little bit, give it a little bit more of a beer feel, beer look. I bought the this is just a magnetic bottle opener to cover up the Igloo sign, so you can see it's just a regular Igloo chest freezer. And I just put the little Guinness symbol on the side. But so that's the gist of it. Is basically it's just I took a chest freezer. Now this bar mat on top, obviously just for decoration, doesn't even fall underneath the drip, so it's not really going to catch much. But here, this is an actual stainless steel drip guard. It catches any drips from the tap. Easy enough to just take the lid off and rinse through, wash it. I bought this on Amazon. Couldn't have been any easier. It doesn't need any assembling. It just comes, it just fits right perfectly in. Now this is so what I did was I took the chest freezer, right, and I just took a template of the diameter for what I would need to drill out to get the tapped into. So I have the dual tap stand here, and so I just drilled out the hole to bolt it on. And in a 5.1 chest freezer, I would, you can't really go above 2 kegs in there. I have the 2 kegs, so that's why I bought the dual tap, to have a separate tap handle for each. And this is just your standard tap handle. This is a European style tap handle more for your stouts. And I'll show you I want to show you the inside. This is more for stouts, and I have a nitrogen hookup inside for that perfect stout. When you pour that stout, you get that nice cascading foaming head. It's actually quite beautiful to watch. But before we go inside, the only other thing that you're going to need on the outside is just a temperature controller. See, you will usually fluctuate. I keep it set for 36 degrees, so sometimes it drops a temperature 2 below, but then the heater valve kicks on and it brings it back up, so it never keeps it below the freezing point. You always have ice cold tap beer, and it's lovely. I'm a home brewer, so everything that is in here is home brewed by myself. So let's take a quick look inside and I'll show you. See, coming down from the tap, see that hole in there? That was just basically a hole that I drilled through and secured with the bracket. And you have your 2 beer lines coming out from the tap handle. Now I have one of them going to this tank, and then the other one goes to this tank. These are both 5-gallon kegs. This is a 5-gallon keg, and this is a 5-gallon keg. And what we have over here are our temperature air pressure regulators. This regulates the gas pressure that comes out. And this one here is the nitrogen hookup. That is a beer mixture of gas. The gas is 75% nitrogen to 25% CO2. And that's, like I was saying, that gives you the nice cascading pour with a nice foamy head, just like you see on all Guinness. And this is just a regular CO2 tank. So the CO2 tank is set a little bit higher. The nitrogen tank is set higher. You always want to keep your nitrogen on a higher PSI. But this is the inside. It's just your two 5-gallon kegs, your 2 air tanks, regulator hooked up from each one, and from each regulator there's a line going to the in to supply the air to the beer, and then each beer one has an out which supplies the beer back up to our tap up here. Now, and I'll just give you a quick little show of each. This is a honey porter that I had made. That one's actually set a little bit high on the CO2, but that head's coming down nicely, and that's actually going to turn out to be a nice, lovely pour. And then on the other side here, I have a triple chocolate stout. And so you get that lovely pour from the nitrogen, which gives you the nice cascading settling from the bottom up, and that's going to end up with a beautiful head on top of a nice delicious stout. So we have a triple chocolate stout, we have a honey porter, and all on tap, all with stuff made from products I bought from Amazon. And I get the air tanks filled up at the local welding shop down the road that supplies different gases. So if anybody has any questions on either home brewing, or if you're thinking about building one yourself and you have any questions, please feel free to ask, comment, ask. I've been a home brewer for over 15 years, and of which about 10 years of it has been set up in this some kind of a kegerator system where it's been on tap instead of bottling. My days of bottling are long over. The days of sanitizing 50 to 100 bottles, those days are in the past. So much more convenient doing it this way. It really wasn't hard at all to create. If you have the means of drilling a hole through the top, that's basically the only assembly. Everything else comes assembled, everything else comes together. The dual tap comes with the lines already installed coming out from the bottom. You just clamp them onto the keg, and then the regulators, you just need to get a beer line for each of those, and then just hook it straight from the regulator to the keg itself. All self-explanatory and very easy to do, but the end product is amazing. Having the convenience of having beer on tap, homemade beer on tap, is something that I have absolutely fallen in love with. I still keep some bottles in the refrigerator for guests and whatnot. I just want to throw cold beer down, but to me it doesn't get any better than this right here. And with St. Patrick's Day rolling around, and I got 10 gallons of freshly brewed beer sitting right here. So that'll be it for now. So if you're considering building one yourself and you have any questions, if you have any comments on it, if you want any tips, or if you're having trouble with theirs and you need some troubleshooting, I've built these, I've maintained these. In fact, I just changed the compressor and the starter in this one, in this chest freezer, because that have been gone, but they're fairly easy to maintain. So if you have any questions, comments, please feel free to ask. If you like the video, like it, subscribe, and With St. Patrick's Day approaching, I'm going to have a lot more fun goodies coming your way. Talk to y'all soon.